Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. Creature Dewey here. Uh, once again, we're on my X. We haven't been on this too much, but I've had a little bit of fun on here before. But today I decided to expose the circle jerk that is the liberal propaganda machine. And so I wanted to start here on X because there's a few profiles on here that just kind of all strike the same chord of bullshit. And I know any of my conservative pals will see this shit and they'll always be in the comments like I am, fucking digging in on these lefties. Like this guy, Jiggy News, he's like freaking saying that Pierre is running all of our accounts essentially. And so I put here, it would have to be him in your every reply. And you guys said Trudeau is stuck in our head rent-free. Ha! Man, you think everyone who likes Pierre isn't a real person, just him. You cannot be this ignorant. So I have, as you can see, I reposted it on my X profile. But I do replies like this to these leftists all the time because it undermines their shit narrative. So Jiggy News is one to look out for that. Like, he just peddles all this bullshit. Not a single thing is even slightly realistic. I challenge him on that stuff all the time. On one of these posts here, I can't remember which. This one maybe, I think. I posted this because he's saying that so this guy said every single sane Canadian supports Pierre and the Conservatives facts, and then he's like, your laugh of the day, and then I was like, it's not facts that it's the laugh of the day, but this is facts. Check out this video if you haven't seen it, guys. It's very good, very important. Dale Thompson is also kind of a loon, in case you guys don't know. Okay, I wanted to also bring you to Rod A. Banner. He is a lawyer, as you can see under his bio here, and community activist. He's in the Ottawa bubble, so just keep in mind that this guy is rich and wants to keep getting richer. And so he posts all the time stuff trying to dig in at Pierre. Doesn't really hold water because, like, I mean, obviously it's this guy is quite the liberal leftist, and he's sadly not the best. So, you know, he spins anything into a bad thing. Things that shouldn't be, like just everything, essentially, anything that he can take hold of that he hopes to get anybody swayed into believing. And then there's this crazy loon, Gator Gum. And, she didn't believe the vaccines were mandatory in Canada. And then, so, you know, I just cited a couple sources for her. No big deal. 1, 2, 3. 1 from the Liberal Party. No comment. No comment. This is what I do on my Twitter all the time, guys. I put these things to the liberals, the liberal voters and everything. See if they hold up against the shit that they say. They don't always want to admit the things that are going on, so I put it to them. Okay, but anyway, so I'll head to this now. And now this is the second portion of the video. This is where we actually talk about the defund the CBC. I want to look into some of these details, look at the CBC and different legacy media, so those X channels that I showed you are essentially little echo chambers of all liberal state media. So anything CBC is saying, you'll catch those guys saying it. just as a repeat talking piece. They don't look anything up. They can't look anything up because it erodes their narrative. The CBC should be defunded. It's a waste of money to pay $1.2 billion per year to this media organization, and now the government is set to hand it even more. The Online News Act Bill, C-18, is federal law enforcing big tech to pay media companies when a link news story is posted on platforms such as Google and Facebook. The hidden snare of Bill C-18 is that the CBC will capture the lion's share of online link money instead of privately owned newspapers. Since the CBC is a wing of the federal government, this is now a new tax. Cheerleaders of the government-funded broadcaster often rely on three arguments to keep the tax dollars flowing. CBC is filling its mandate by broadcasting Canadian culture back to Canadians. The second is that minority communities need CBC, and the third is that CBC provides value for money. These arguments don't hold up. First, viewership for CBC is abysmal. Ratings from 2019 show viewership for the CBC local event 6 p.m. news is about 230,000 across the country. That's so weak, man. That's brutal, man. That's gonna be my goal, is to hit that by the end of the year, maybe. If I can do that in a year, man. Less than 1% of Canadians of the CBC Supper Hour News. The most watched shows in Canada, and CBC didn't crack the top 10. It ranked 16th, and the show was the Great British Baking Show, produced by the UK. Whoa, what? It ranked 16th, and the show was the Great British Baking Show, produced by a UK company. Wow, that's crazy. So the thing on CBC that brought them to 16th was something about Britain and not about Canada. Oh boy. Oh boy. Second, the claim CBC provides programming for First Nations and minority communities that cannot be found somewhere else is questionable. The CBC spent $18.3 million on its Indigenous language television, radio, and online services April 1st, 2018 to March 31st, 2021. Over that same time, CBC spent more than $21 million on salaries and benefits for its 8 senior executives. Oh my. Oh shit. In contrast, the Aboriginal People's Television Networks depends largely on subscriptions and funding partnerships with private media companies. APTN got $1.7 from taxpayers in 2022, a fraction of what CBC makes in a year. More than 27% of APTN's broadcasts are delivered in Indigenous languages. APTN reaches more than 4 million people in Canada. Wow, that's a huge difference, man. Wow, compared to their fucking 230,000. Wow. So they basically do nothing for Indigenous comparatively. Like, this is huge compared to. With an average prime time viewership of 712,000 per week, which is still pretty big. Nice, wow. For ethnic minorities, there are popular private stations across Canada that offer programming in 24 languages. Omni TV delivers TV news in Arabic, Cantonese, Mandarin, Punjab, and Portuguese, Tagalog, and Italian. What the fuck that's an indigenous language, right? I've never heard of that one. Maybe that's like an Inuit one up north or something. I'm not sure. Okay, so anyways, so yeah, so that's the context of that. So CBC is not even like helping the people it says it is. It's a complete farce. It's a waste of money. People know it. Like, their excuses to stick around are fucking invalid. You know, they're as bullshit as they come. Okay, so this is a Taxpayer Federation, Canadian Taxpayers Federation, by the way, in case you were curious. I'll have all these in the source to the link below. Alright guys, I wanted to show you this clip. I love this Josh Ryan guy. He's a good one. He's a conservative, for sure. He's on the right. And so he shared this. It's a clip from April 6th, as you can see. And it's crazy the way they just go at Pierre as if, like, you know, he's the government in question.
Why did your party want to grant over $100 million in regulatory relief to the...
So first off, look at that. Look at the way that they're going there. They're going, like, making these false claims immediately. Why is it true that your government wanted to give $100 million into relievatory funds or something, and it's like bullshit?
Mainstream media.
We don't want to give any tax dollars to the mainstream media. Our belief is that the mainstream media and all...
Decision, then? Your party's decision to grant regulatory relief?
So I'll answer your question. The media that is bought and paid for, where are you from, by the way? Which outlet are you in? Which outlet? Which outlet?
Canadian Press.
Ah, okay, Canadian Press. So you're talking about tax dollars for media. Isn't CBC your biggest? Isn't no? I can answer. Yeah, and you want to answer?
The party want to grant $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media.
When would you like me to respond? Okay, good. Okay, great. So, of course, you are a tax-funded media outlet and spreading Justin Trudeau's message.
Why did you
and so you're interrupting me again. You're interrupting me again. I am answering the question.
Do you regret granting $100 million in regulatory relief to the mainstream media?
Your question is false. So if you can allow me to correct your falsehoods, then we can answer the question directly. So, false. Canadian conservatives do not believe in giving tax dollars to media outlets. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. That's Justin Trudeau. Okay, if you don't want me...
And then that followed to be Mark Carney. That is also Mark Carney. That is Mark Carney. But Pierre has never endorsed giving funds to the thing that he said he would defund. I mean, I don't know where this narrative has come from. But that's the thing. That's the liberal way. They make any narrative they want. They don't back it up with source. They don't got facts. They just lie, lie, lie. Alright, let's go here. We're going to check this out. I got a couple more queued up.
For the 10th time, Liberals promise affordability, while Canadians drown in debt, soaring rents, and record food bank lines. Under Mark Carney's watch, housing doubled, grocery prices exploded, and families were told to sacrifice. Conservatives are asking a simple question. Why tax steel, cement, and food if you want cheaper homes, affordable budget, or just another costly liberal lie? Watch what happens next in this heated debate live.
Mr. Speaker, tomorrow will be the 10th costly Liberal budget after they doubled housing costs, doubled food bank lineups, and doubled the national debt. Now they're making exactly the same costly promises. And the Prime Minister says Canadians who can't afford to eat, heat, or house themselves need to make more, quote, sacrifices. The choice for us is simple. If a budget brings down the cost of living, we'll support it. If it brings up the cost of living, just like every other Liberal budget, we will vote no. So instead of trying to provoke a costly election on a costly budget, why not an affordable budget for an affordable life?
I'm just going to leave it right there. You know, you can go, I'm going to have it in the description, you can go and watch the rest. But, boom goes the dynamite.
Last week, we witnessed the stupidest scandal in Canadian history. The legacy media invented a fake news narrative about Pierre Poilievre, which he easily, correctly, and firmly debunked. Now, in response, the legacy media lost their minds. They called Poilievre a liar and a bully and predicted that he was about to plummet in the polls. Well, the latest polls are in, and surprise, surprise, the legacy media got it wrong again.
Yep.
It's Fake News Friday. I'm Candace Malcolm, and this is The Candace Malcolm Show.
That's hilarious. Okay, so this is just gonna be a source for you guys to check into. I'm probably not gonna watch this whole thing. This is gonna be a source for you to check into afterwards. This is gonna be your homework assignment, alright? I'll watch a couple minutes in just to...
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. So last week on Fake News Friday, I broke down what I believe to be one of the stupidest, if not the stupidest, media scandals in Canadian history. So according to the legacy media, stupidest media scandals in Canadian history. So according to the legacy media, basically every single journalist in the legacy media, they all decided that opposition leader Pierre Poilievre had done something egregious. So what did he do? Did he waste $1 billion on some green...
Did he stand up with Venezuela?
Green scheme? No, that was Justin Trudeau. Did he give away multi-million-dollar contracts to his friends who were also paying his family members to give speeches? No, that was Trudeau as well. Did he pressure his attorney general to quit because she refused to give a sweetheart deal to a large party donor? Did he go on vacation to a billionaire's private island and then turn around and give government handouts to that billionaire's organization? Or did he parade around in racist blackface for much of his 20s and early 30s? Okay, you're on to me. Those were all obviously Justin Trudeau. No, according to the legacy media, Poilievre's far worse crimes were, and this is accurate, quoting a CTV story in the House of Commons, pointing that out.
What? Citing one of the legacy media.
To a CP reporter who was interrogating him with gotcha questions, and then defending himself against a attempted smear campaign by the media, and finally refusing to bend the knee and apologize to them. Yes, that is the scandal that the legacy media reporters are obsessing over, that they rush to comment on, rush to condemn, and they use that to predict that Okay,
now this video is not to say Pierre is a victim. Pierre is not a victim. Pierre is a dude fighting off people coming at him, attacking from all angles. And you know what? He's got his own team. We're his team. The independents got his back. You guys want to keep on fucking trying to smear him every day. We know the truth of what he stands for. We know his policies. You want to say there are none? It's bullshit. You guys are going down. Now, finally, I'm gonna like this video, by the way. Finally, I want to leave the video off right here. It's in a part of mine. This is my video, as I said. They don't know how to hold the government to account.
I want to talk politics and a bit of policy as well, but let's start with what happened last.
It's gonna be a small little reel of them all hitting him with the same question, or phrasing the same thing.
So you've now lost 2 MPs to the Liberal Party.
Because they're all state-ran media talking the same talking points.
Both have pointed to your leadership as issues, Michael Moss.
Right now, that there will not be more MPs who leave the Conservatives for the Liberal Party?
They're now just 1 seat away from a majority government, and the Liberal...
Exactly.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't